Sometimes I don't like what video game companies are doing, and I don't know how to voice my disapproval. Now, people have told me to vote with my wallet, but I can't do that because my wallet is not old enough to vote. It's not old enough to drink or access adult websites either. Even if it were old enough to vote, it just looks so young. But I've got a plan. You know what to do, wallet. Or should I say, Grandpa Wallet? Get to voting. What are you doing? You're supposed to be voting, not looking at wallets. Wait, what are those wallets doing? To vote with your wallet simply means to buy products from companies that align with your personal ethics or needs while not buying products from those companies that don't. Now, it's easier said than done for sure. Not everyone has the luxury of choice when it comes to some essential products. If you don't make enough money to shop elsewhere, it doesn't matter how many hobos Walmart kills or how staunchly you are against hobo murder. You've got to shop at Walmart and risk getting hobo blood on your shoes. So even the very idea of voting with one's wallet implies a level of privilege that many, maybe even most, people simply do not have. But sometimes, for some people, there are non-essential products and services that are on the ballot, so to speak. And I would argue that for all people, video games are firmly non-essential. Not true. I've got a prescription right here from my doctor for 100 milligrams of Raging Justice. First thing in the morning, it says right here. Sorry, I didn't consider your very specific case, Phil. But I've got to warn you, Raging Justice is not a good game. Well, medicine's not supposed to taste good. What are you, a child? Do you need your pills to be grape flavored too? And while I've got your attention, can I ask you a question? What does insert rectally mean? Yeah, I'm not going to answer that. For me, video games are non-essential, and Ubisoft is one of those companies that is doing something I don't like. Now, do your own research on this company. This video isn't about taking a stance against Ubisoft. All you need to know is that I will not be giving them any of my money ever again. Again, this video isn't about condemning a single company, so please don't click away yet. I'm not asking anyone to do the same as me. Buy what you want. I only mention Ubisoft as an example, one that I'm personally passionate about, so I can explore how changes in video game sales channels affect my ability to vote with my wallet. So my personal villain is Ubisoft, but yours, for the sake of this exploration, can be any company. You could hate Activision Blizzard for the incredible greed at the top of the company. You could hate Gearbox Software for its thieving CEO, or you could hate the captain for all his crunch. Come on, Captain. We don't need your ship to dock in Corpus Christi by November. Okay, December is fine. Stop working your sailors 80 hours per week. Besides, there are a lot of other ships docking in November. You'll get drowned out anyway. Personally, I'm looking forward to the arrival of Tony the Tiger's new game. Early reviewers say those graphics are great. So now that we've arrived at a real or fictional company with real or fictional ethical problems, we as gamers now have the opportunity to vote with our wallets. Now, when I buy a game, when I add that game to my cart, I'm voting in favor of that company. When I don't buy a game, I'm voting against that company. It's very simple, or at least it had been until recently. Game streaming services have changed this simple, elegant system, and I don't believe for the better. They've confused the system. So here's what got me thinking about this. I just played the Immortals Fenyx Rising demo on Google Stadia, a game streaming service, and the game is good. It's really, really good. In fact, I'd love to buy the full version, but I will never give Ubisoft money for it. Or will I? Say if this game comes to Game Pass or Stadia Pro and I play it as part of that subscription, have I voted in favor of the company even though I didn't exactly buy the game? Maybe a portion of my subscription is going directly to Ubisoft. I don't know. And unfortunately, streaming services are not clear on how the subscription fees make their way to individual publishers. Or I know in some streaming models, the platform holder pays the publisher up front for the game, so technically, the publisher has made all the money it will ever make on the streaming platform before the first player even plays it. So that's good, right? I mean, problem solved. I can now play Immortals Fenyx Rising with a clear conscience. No, see, me simply playing that game, even though I haven't paid for it directly and Ubisoft has already received all the money that they will ever receive from it, me simply playing that game still sends positive signals to the streaming platform, meaning future games by the garbage company have my official backing even if I didn't explicitly vote with a purchase of the game. It seems quite probable that I'd be supporting this company I don't like without adding anything to my cart. That's kinda scary from a consumer standpoint. Streaming services have obfuscated the game buying transaction. The buying process is fundamentally different now with streaming services. It's hard, maybe impossible, for consumers to know where their money is going, which makes voting with your wallet less like actual voting and more like money laundering, where money passes from one shell company to another until eventually the paper trail obfuscates the money's source. So game streaming is vote laundering. Oh, hey. I know there are plenty of you watching this video who don't care about the ethical stances of game publishers, and that's okay. The point of this video isn't to tell you which thing to disagree with, or to disagree with anything at all. The point of this video is simply to explore the idea that game streaming services may actually take some power away from the consumer who would have chosen to wield such power, of course, when it comes to holding game companies accountable for their actions. And that is pretty scary. So what's the path forward? Well, for me, I'll simply need to exercise more self-control. Think of it like dieting. Dieting is easier if you are the one buying the food, but if you are living with someone, sometimes you open up the pantry and there's so much candy and chips that you didn't buy, and the CEOs of those candy and chips love sexually harassing people. Sorry. The point is, making the right choice is easy when I'm in control of my options, but when options I didn't ask for just appear in my games library, it will be a bit harder to say no. And making it even harder is that me, as a conscientious consumer, must work to keep educated on the various ethical stances of these companies. There is no federally required nutritional information label equivalent on a video game, but what would that look like? So tell me in the comments below, do ethically questionable actions from games publishing company leaders inform your game buying decisions at all? Or do you tend not to think about those things and instead focus solely on the games themselves? If the latter, are there any non-gaming exceptions where you do tend to not purchase from some companies? If you are comfortable doing so, of course, please share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm not here to judge either way. Besides, I can't rightly judge you. I'm, as it turns out, really into wallet stuff. So now, if you'll excuse me, my new best friend here has some websites he'd like to show me.